grittiness and Golden Boy's DNA. You know, Oscar was brought along very carefully and smartly by Top Rank. And he was considered, I felt at the time, incorrectly the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world way too early, because Roy was in his prime back then. And I was like, look, Oscar's really good. That guy's a different thing. But at a certain point, Oscar wasn't, you know, he heard people saying, you're being built, you're not fighting the top guys, and you saw every weight class he was in at 130 pounds. It wasn't Gabe Ruelas, it was someone else. At 135 pounds, it wasn't Stevie Johnston, it was, you know, Rafael Ruelas. You know, it wasn't, there was always a top guy that he didn't somehow fight in every division. And those weren't even big fights. It was just like everyone knew those were the best fighters. And at a certain point, Oscar told Top Rank, basically, look, I'm a fighter, man. I'm fighting all these guys. And in a sense, no good deed goes unpunished, because what wound up happening is Oscar became underrated by history. Like, the fans love him, but history's going to underrate him because he has all those losses. And Floyd, who was Floyd's a greater fighter than Oscar anyway, I agree. However, like, for example, they fought each other. Oscar was almost at the end. Floyd was in his prime. That was a competitive fight. It shouldn't have been a split decision. Floyd won, but that was a competitive fight, and Oscar was basically done. So he's closer to the Floyd level, I think, than people realize. He's a great fighter, but all the losses have, oh, Oscar, you don't think of him as like a pound-for-pound all-time guy. But that's okay with him, because he proved himself the better or the equal or slightly lesser than all the best fighters of his era. That's who Oscar is. That's in the DNA of his promotional company. You saw as soon as he got control of Golden Boy, they make fights where if you're looking at it, you go, that's not in their best business interest all the time, but that's what they're about. Let's make good fights. And that's what